Twinkling, twinkling, flickering. Twinkling, twinkling, shining. Twinkling, twinkling, dazzling. Twinkling, twinkling, sparkling. Everything was vividly gleaming. We enter into Shaula's daily routine in the watchtower anywhere from 8 to 10 years before Subaru steps foot into the agrarious sand dunes. Between her daily exercises of radio calisthenics, she thinks of her master just like every other day. For me, to not expect anything from Master? Now that would be totally, absolutely, completely impossible. 1, 2, and 4. A bewitching body just for Master, looking perfectly majestic this morning as well. Well, there's no mistaking that it wasn't Master. I mean, there is absolutely nothing that Master has said that I could ever forget. We learn that Shaula has been completing daily workouts and sporting her usual outfits, as she believes this is the kind of person her master loves. Every word he has told her, she has etched in her mind as to not forget him, including the fact that he taught her to eat food. Come to think of it, when was the last time I ate something? Master hated that kind of thing, didn't he? Like it was tough for him to see me being the only one not eating when everyone else was having a meal. Gah. Master's compassion really touches the heart. Mama Samba mumbled something about ruining a perfectly good trait, though. After all, a girl who eats food with relish is attractive. That's Master's personal theory. Oh, Master, no. Don't look at me with those eyes when my mouth is full of meat and beans. Shaula recounts her time spent with Master and Mama Sama and the others 400 years prior. She really does not need to eat, and it seems more like a hobby to Shaula than anything. The length of time has started to take a toll on Shaula's memories, as she cannot remember the finer details she possessed. It sounds argumentative, so maybe it was Mama Sama? To begin with, Mama Sama's face and voice are super blurry to me. Like, white, black, even the colors might be wrong. However, Shaula comes to the understanding that even though some memories are hazy, the ones with her master are not. So everything will be okay. As we continue along Shaula's morning routine, she takes a moment to stop in a room to carve something on the wall. Whoops! If it's about time for this wall too, this room will be sealed as well. So then, with the master privileges granted to me, this door is close the door. My memories sealed in here are don't touch me to anyone's eyes. With the door sealed, we have completed Shaula's daily tasks as she makes her way to the tower balcony to guard the Pleiades watchtower from anyone who could possibly break through sand time and keep down the numbers of mobbies. To keep herself occupied, she roleplays a scenario with her master saving her, until her day takes a quick turn. Oh, how rare! It's been a while. I didn't even know how long it's been since someone broke through Sandwind. What just whose grand entrance is this? Hopeful to see her master return and fulfill his promise, Shaula maintains her orders to attack oncoming visitors alongside the mobbies. But Shaula did not get that feeling that it was him with them. Lame! A miss again, huh? Only one lone dragon cart was able to break through Sandwind time, and she guessed there were more beyond the sand dunes. While the dragon cart dodged and weaved through the mobbies, she kept mercilessly aiming at the travelers while bored, only briefly stopping to admire one of them blowing themselves up alongside several mobbies. Ooh, game over. While Shaula lazily watches the carnage below, she notices a pair who used the ground dragon and other survivors from the cart crashing as sacrificial lambs as a brief distraction to try to run away. That's what you call admirable guts. Well, the result's the same either way, though. But something about the woman in the pair drew her attention and made her help take out the witch beasts. Hell Snipe! Bang, 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 bang! Shaula had mowed down all the witch beasts surrounding this woman and went to pick her up from the sand below. The woman had straight brown hair cut to her shoulders and distinct Sampaku eyes. Good grief, I've gone soft, huh? Jeez, it's not even master yet. This has turned into a hassle. As the only survivor, Shaula picked up the woman and brought her into the tower, as she recounted the rules her master had put in place. Pregnant women are to be treated with care. Good thing your belly was swollen, huh? That being said, my kindness only goes that far. It doesn't mean you've made it clear of the challenge, so don't get ahead of yourself on that part. After making this declaration clear, we come to learn that this is Shaula's first visitor in several hundred years. Chapter 1. Memories of Red Hair. Shaula, that is my name! I am the Star Keeper of this Pleiades watchtower, but do not get the wrong idea. I am just giving you a heads up first, since you are just a retiree who entered the tower out of compassion. Unlike how she avoids greeting everyone up until Subaru wakes up in the Pleiades watchtower, Shaula openly greets this woman to the watchtower.
I feel as though I can comprehend your sentiments. This flawed memory of mine has the dreadful habit of ceaselessly etching into my very soul only the misfortunes, the sorrows, and the most unpleasant of recollections. For me to presume to say I understand how you feel, was that perhaps the height of my insolence?
If we can talk like this, does that mean you understand exactly where you are, what you're doing, and who you are right now? It'd be super annoying if you said you couldn't remember or had absolutely no clue. Master is the only one I need to forget this and that.
Reilani. That is the disproportionate name for my clumsy and careless self.
Oh?
I ask this fully aware that it is exceptionally impudent, but would you happen to be Shaula-sama? You, who spared the lives of myself and these children.
Reilani explains to Shaula that she isn't quite sure when these children will be born, and continually demeans herself to Shaula while the Star Keeper tries to figure out what Reilani's deal is. Don't tell me you're trying to get me to go fetch the dragon carriage because your babies will die otherwise.
While I am deeply aware that this is a shameful immorality, when it comes to the babies in her belly, a mother, as cheeky as it may be, is one who can endure any and all criticism.
If it's gonna turn out like this, I wish I could have just overslept for today. Shaula continually reminds Leilani that she has no desire to help her and is only bound by the wishes of her master. And Leilani keeps approaching Shaula back with the humble and piteous replies. Through her humble requests, Leilani begins pushing Shaula to help her with the odd task, starting with acquiring things from the dragon cart. Even though you're extremely humble, you got a lot of nerve bossing me around.
Please, go ahead and revile me as much as you like, calling me vulgar, hideous trash.
Good grief! Don't you dare go wandering around inside the tower on your own. If you get in the way of my Star Watcher duties, I won't let you get off easy. As we are about to follow Shaula out to the cart, we are interrupted by a flashback with Reid and a younger version of Shaula.
Oi, you prick! Do something interesting.
You prick, you prick, you prick, you prick, shut the hell up! Didn't you say you wanted to see something interesting? Then peel your eyeballs back and watch this! Huh! We hear about how Shaula and Mama Sama have nothing but pure hatred for Reid. In fact, her hatred of the man was included into her DNA. Similar to the chopstick-wielding Reid we currently know from the tower, Reid is blocking Shaula's early attempts at Hell's Snipe. At this point in time, Shaula can barely control one use of Hell's Snipe. And with a flick of his finger, he interrupts her snipe and closes in on her, grabbing at her, and eventually prodding her with his chopsticks. Until another man appears to get Reid off of Shaula.
What the fuck is this, you bollocks? Doing this kind of thing? You're 100 years too early to go toe-to-toe with me. If you're gonna use that tone, you cunt, then even the power of a witch ain't much to write home about.
Hey, are you at it again, you insolent fool?
Whoa!
None other than Farsale Lugunica comes to the aid of the young girl, pushing Reid back from Shaula. He had just hit Reid with his powerful star staff, showing that Farsale is pretty strong.
Forgive me for being late to rush over. What a blunder for my eminent self. What terrible ordeal did that Reid fellow subject thee to?
My glamorous body was poked and prodded as much as he pleased with chopsticks.
Deed of human scum! Is this not an outrageous, evil deed worthy of 10,000 deaths?
The one doing something outrageous is you, ain't it, you prick? The thing you just used to smack me. Ain't that stupid cane used for disciplining the dragon, you bollocks?
Do not call it a stupid cane or any other such dishonorable name. This has the very, very romantic name of Starstaff.
Like I know the damn name. Don't go swinging it around like that. You whore, you're trying to kill me.
Don't be ridiculous. Thou should be sturdier than the dragon. How could thou possibly die from being slapped by my eminent self's powerless, slender arms? Puff out your chest. Thou art the strongest on land.
Like hell I'm gonna puff out my chest over something so obvious now, you prick.
The two of you ignoring me and yapping away. Yap, yap, yap. You're super noisy, huh? What is this? What the heck is this? Even though I'm the Starkeeper for Master's sake, if I can't even win against a sexually harassing piece of crap like this, there's no point in me living.
Wait. Do not be so desperate, Shaula. It was merely by chance that my eminent self's royal, unexpected strike pierced him just now. It's not that thou art bad. Thou art still in the prime of your growth. At this point in time, such an evaluation is nothing more than lip service.
You cunt, are you serious? You seriously saying this thing is in the prime of its growth? That ain't any different from the nonsense this shorty spouts, you prick.
What a lack of delicacy towards a woman with a future. In the first place, that is what my eminent self is most angry about. What was that earlier towards such a young Shaula? I knew thou wert fond of women, but my eminent self is completely put off by how indiscriminate thou art.
You bollocks, enough with the jokes. Does a shorty like this even count as a man or a woman? If I'm gonna poke something, I'll poke someone more worth poking. Like...
If thou starts talking about princess or lady witch, my eminent self's contempt will peak.
From my perspective, that's a no thank you, so it doesn't count.
Do not worry, Shaula. Despite how I look, my eminent self in my younger days was also of such a short stature that my surroundings worried for my future. However, by repeatedly eating well, playing well, and sleeping well, look here, I have magnificently grown into a great man just like this.
A great man, huh? Don't see one around here. Where the hell is a guy like that? You wanker.
A real great man should not stand next to me. My eminent self will be overshadowed. The convenient excuse for Shaula will be exposed.
This memory of Reid is abruptly cut off and moves into another as Shaula recounts branches of the Saintis Order that existed 400 years prior to the main ReZero timeline. They seem to be quite powerful, a worldwide influential organization with lots of members.
To me, the affiliates look like nothing but pitiful sacrifices whose ideals have been painted over with false hope. It is not that there is no room to sympathize with their circumstances, but in the end, they willingly offered their ears to the stories they wanted to hear, and willingly closed their eyes to everything other than what they wanted to believe. Therefore, even if their end comes after opposing us, it cannot be helped, can it?
Mama-sama, you talk super fast.
You have started saying cheeky things like that, have you not? I wonder if it is his bad influence.
This brief memory of her mother cuts directly into the heated moment where the younger Shaula is standing alongside Reid and Farsale at the top of a chalk-white building, where the trio are looking down at the white-cloaked figures.
The hell? The masses are swarming all over the place. What a pain in the arse.
Ugh. I ended up thinking the exact same thing as this guy. It's a violation of my values.
You fucker. You think you can say whatever the hell you want just 'cause it's me? Let me tell you, shorties are treated exactly the same as men. I'll beat the crap out of you, prick.
If you can do it, try it. If that happens, Master and Mama-sama won't stay quiet. So you'll be the one who loses your place in the world.
Wipe your own arse yourself, you bollocks. Don't go running your mouth all high and mighty.
Hey, what have you been doing since earlier?
No, the two of you together are truly impressive. It is far too distant. I cannot see that swarming mob at all. How did those eyes become so keen?
Born with it.
We learn that they're at least a kilometer away from these robed figures. Farsale is shocked by how good Reid and Shaula's visions are, as humans cannot see a kilometer ahead.
So, from what I saw, they're preparing to advance properly. You ain't gonna complain now, right?
My eminent self cannot see that far with these eyes, but... Shaula.
I don't know what advancing is, but I think there's no mistake. They're trying to head out with a large group.
As Farsale begins to feel shaken up by the magnitude of the situation, Reid calls out to him to see if he'll flee. But he surprises both with his reaction.
Yeah, prick. Don't go moping around over boring shite. If you can't decide, I'll do whatever the hell I want. It ain't like I listen to your words anyway.
No, that will not do. My eminent self is royalty.
Huh.
My eminent self did not leave the royal capital and follow you on this journey to be protected. Do not misunderstand that. Therefore, my eminent self will not run away. My eminent self will not avert his eyes. My eminent self will not bend his way of being.
Shaula had expected Reid to cut Farsale down in half. While mentally preparing herself to have taken down Reid to prove her innocence in Farsale's murder, she is interrupted by Reid's uncharacteristic handling of the situation in front of them.
Well then, now that we got the princess's permission, should we go?
Disrespectful. My eminent self is a prince.
You got some nerve saying that when you just get protected all the time.
After receiving permission to fight, Reid takes Shaula high up onto a cliff to shoot at the enemies below.
Look closely and make sure you hit it, shorty. If you can't kill that annoying barrier maker putting up that barrier, you're gonna be charred to a crisp, you prick.
If I can't do it, you're gonna die too, you know?
Me? Die? No way in hell that's gonna happen. The only one dying is you prick. So, what you gonna do, you bollocks? Live or die?
I am Master Starkeeper!
Shaula, who had been struggling to produce higher volumes of Hell's Snipe, was placed in a position where she was forced to adapt by Reid as they began their attack. She jumps off the cliff towards the enemies, lining up Hell's Snipe that takes out 10 people, contributing to the magical barrier around this white compound.
Huh. Ain't ya pretty good?
How do you like that? And with this?
Reid interrupts Shaula's celebrations, destroying the entire compound and everyone inside with a single strike of his chopsticks from the air.
Ugh, what an awful guy.
That's what I've been saying. There ain't nothing I'm gonna teach you, you prick. Look on your own and feel like you know it on your own. If you want to protect your master, you bollocks.
That's not what I'm talking about. Mama Sama promised you that.
Huh? Come to think of it, did I make a promise like that?
Shaula gets frustrated with Reid's attitude towards his promise he made Shaula's mama, for which her mama paid a high price to extract.
Right, done. Now, let's find some random village and get drunk. Booze time!
I'm gonna tell on you to that guy Alec. With that beard, you should be on my side.
Yeah, bringing up an annoying name.
What are you gonna do? Do you feel like keeping your promise with Mama Sama?
Then tomorrow.
Huh? What do you mean? After this, you're gonna go chug booze and sleep, right?
Shut the hell up. Got it? What you can do tomorrow, you should do tomorrow.
Ugh. Shaula tries to put Reid in check, but only manages to get him to slightly keep his promise. Hard won and flicked by him, Shaula's frustrated. Someday, I'll absolutely beat you to death, Reid. Here, is this good enough? I brought back as much as I could carry at once. Shaula's flashback ends with her returning the supplies Leilani requested. The rest of the stuff, I threw it away on my own judgment. There's some stuff that looks edible and a box that seemed to be treated as important. And stuff around there, so isn't that enough?
Yes, I am deeply grateful. For you to go this far for an incompetent and clumsy person like my unworthy self, I cannot bear the gratitude.
Shaula's becoming uncomfortable with how Leilani thanks her. Not quite knowing how to respond to it, she shrugs it off, shocking Leilani. Or rather, is there an opinion to blow you right away here and now and clear my years of grudge?
Oh no! If the deeply merciful and generous Shaula-sama were to abandon us, an incompetent and ignorant person like me and these children would never be able to survive.
It's a joke. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't. It's a good thing you're a pregnant woman. This is as far as me being nice goes. Got it? From now on, no matter what you say, I won't lift a finger for you.
Of course. For me to cling to your mercy forever, no matter how insolent and incompetent I am, I could not possibly do such a thing. I could not possibly do it, but...
What is it?
The floor here is hard and cold. An empty shell such as myself ought to endure any amount of unbearable hard labor. However, I cannot help but feel pity for these children.
Leilani requests support yet again, using her unborn children as an excuse. Shaula feels that the command from her master to protect and take care of pregnant women is like a curse, forcing her to keep assisting her whenever she invokes the health of her children. I'm telling you right now, this is the last time!
My, how deeply merciful! You truly are an apostle of mercy sent to the surface!
Shaula helps move boxes and heavy things around the tower, yet Leilani asks for help again. Shaula is frustrated but resigned to help her, almost cursing her beloved master for his restrictive commands. Chapter 2. Memories of Blonde Hair. Shaula does the hard labor to create a comfortable sleeping space for Leilani on the 4th floor Akalone. This makes Shaula depressed as she realizes her sleeping conditions have been terrible in comparison to this girl, who she's been working tirelessly for. With this, I'm the one who's pitiful. Why does someone who just popped up like you get this bed? Well, I have to sleep splat on the hard floor.
My, Shaula-sama, how pitiful. For the person who has been so kind to an unsightly and unsuccessful person like me, to sleep on such a shabby floor is simply too much, since it has come to this.
Since it's come to what?
Unworthy, powerless me shall exert my strength to repay this debt of gratitude. My belly is...
No, I saw that coming. Stop it. If something happens to the child in your belly from that, I'll have all the things I've done up to now go to waste. It's not like a hard floor bothers me anyways. My hard-boiled soul won't break that easily. So I was just talking out loud. Shaula sits Leilani down roughly, but not dangerously on her new bed. I've said this so many times. I don't even have the persuasive power to myself anymore. But this time is really the end. Originally, if it weren't for that belly of yours, you'd be my hateful enemy. Any more fraternizing, or rather this black-hearted setup where I'm unilaterally exploited, is a no thank you from me.
To think I would exploit Shaula-sama. I am deeply sorry. This unpleasant and mysterious me has only been taking advantage of your mercy and had no consideration for your feelings. Because of that, to have cornered Shaula-sama so much.
That ain't something that just started now. You've always been like that. Shaula thinks that pregnancy hormones are making Leilani more timid. Her frustration at this unresolvable situation grows. Ah, damn you! Always making a fool out of me.
I hate my own self for piling up ungrateful immoralities. I cannot help it. By the way, is there no one else here other than Shaula-sama?
That's right. The only one here is me. Well, it'd be a problem if you just thought anyone could handle the grand old role of Starkeeper. So it's only natural.
Is that so? That must be quite lonely.
Huh? Shaula reminisces that Leilani she hated in her memories used to be brash and intimidating, unlike the current one. To think you'd be scared getting that done back to you. Did you grow something like cuteness? Honestly, it just doesn't feel like your hateful points got added up, though.
No, narrow-minded me has no such insolent aims. I am just deeply sorry. My imprudent and unpleasant way of speaking has offended your feelings, has it not?
That ain't something that just started now. I thought you were being super transparent, though. Shaula is angered by Leilani, who was supposedly one of her companions from 400 years ago, is making light of the orders from Shaula's master that she follows. Actually, leaving aside whether I'm lonely or not.
Well then, were you not lonely?
Like I was! This conversation is over. I mean, what about you? Well, your buddies got completely wiped out and you ended up returning empty-handed. So what'd you even come to this tower for? Shaula, questioning why Leilani had her dead companions even come to this tower, thinks about how long she awaited her master's return. She begins to wonder if Leilani was sent by her master. Yet Leilani does not provide an answer meeting those expectations, leaving Shaula disappointed. She tries to suppress her mental pain, thinking about how foolish wishful thinking is as a coping mechanism. I was a huge idiot for getting my hopes up. I'm disappointed in you from the bottom of my heart. Shaula, now upset and trying to hide it, tells Leilani she has offered enough help kicking small pebbles on the floor that shouldn't be there, adding to Shaula's growing mental confusion. Shaula leaves claiming she is the authority figure here as the Starkeeper, though it seems like strange considerations for Leilani, as if eating some of her rations instead of witch beasts would be bad.
What is wrong, Shaula? Making such a longing face. All right, my eminent self shall share some of my steamed tato with you.
We flash back once more to a moment young Shaula has with Farsale, with him splitting a steamed tato with her. But he gives her the larger piece. Isn't Farsale's way of thinking a little bit hard to understand? Why would you give the bigger one to me? Is it a life hack to suck up to the strong ones to survive?
Do not be foolish. If that were the correct way of thinking, the one my eminent self should be offering the tato to would be Reid or Volcanica. Besides, if it were those two, half a tato would not suffice. I believe so. To think they are utterly hopeless in terms of humanity. Dost thou not think so?
Farsale begins to get cold as night approaches, and so he embraces Shaula under his cloak after they finish eating. Shaula cannot feel cold, and yet produces body heat for which Shaula feels superior to him, as being created to protect her master.
For my eminent self, I do not think that snuggling up to someone is a condition of weakness. I consider it a good thing, and I have a mindset that thinks highly of Lady Witch.
No matter what Farsale says, my priority of master being number one is absolute. Any factor that could disrupt that order is an instant bad ban for me. Aren't all master's companions just people with broken humanity?
Ah, you have a habit of asking questions with double meanings. Truly a difficult question.
Shaula observes something different from his normal speech, and at the end of his words. She doesn't really want to be so observant of the small subtleties like that, though.
Whatever. I just think humans are all such a hassle.
I cannot deny that, but is it fine? Your beloved master is also human.
Master is literally a special existence. So he can't even be placed on the same line as other humans in the first place. So, no prob, no peso.
I know not what no paso means yet. I must ask him its meaning later. Still, to be able to state so clearly that he is special. Thou art remarkable, so strong.
Farsale pats Shaula's head, tearing up and envious of her. Not for her strength, but something deeper. Thinking of someone special and then being able to say it without restraint. Farsale is a royal. He is fearless and often gets into trouble because of it. He has only to rely on the strength of others regularly, similar to her master. It seems Shaula cares deeply for Farsale, though she struggles to admit it in her mind, as she's able to share precious conversations with him. As the stars start coming into view in the night sky, Shaula looks up with Farsale, thinking about how her mama thinks the stars are giant clumps of mana, whilst her master has a different view.
What the stars are the crystallization of wishes of a whole bunch of people.
Shaula.
Every time people look up at the sky, they entrust all kinds of wishes to it. When that accumulates and gathers up, it shines brightly and becomes a star. So occasionally, that shining star grants someone's wish.
Whose wish is it? Under what condition is it chosen?
That's totally random.
Say what? Random? Is it not awarded to the one who tried the hardest?
Even stars aren't free all the time, so they don't look all the way to see who worked the hardest or desperately made a wish. If they grant a wish after all that effort, people would accuse them for playing favorites later. So it's a random, serious gamble. And since I'm not only the star keeper, but a woman of the constellation who bears the name of a star, I was given almost the exact same role as a star. So taking advice from me wouldn't be overkill.
Advice, you say? That is for having a wish granted by the stars, I presume. But if it is true that the stars choose the wishes to grant randomly...
But to somewhat attract that randomness, the life hack to get fate on your side is... And I completely messed up. I ended with saying the word fate.
Shaula slightly panics after mentioning fate, a force which her master hates.
Ah, what a blunder. If it's come to this, I'll just have the stars grant my wish to make it so that slip of the tongue just never happened.
Wait. Were you not just about to teach my eminent self that method? What is to become of my eminent self's warm and fuzzy feelings?
In the end, life is just survival of the fittest, and everything is just a game of musical chairs.
Is that all right? Is it truly all right for the conclusion up to this point to be that?
Is the right to have your own wish granted that important? It's a huge turnoff.
It is something that happens rather often, but this is the most innovative pulling of the ladder out from under someone I have seen in a while.
Shaula shares that the method to win the rights of the stars is to shine brightly, that even the stars themselves would be captivated by you.
I did say to shine brightly, though.
We move to a different time, after where Shaula and Farsale are at a court banquet. Shaula is watching from the sidelines, while Farsale is surrounded by other people wanting to talk to him.
What's this? Could it be that you're in a bad mood, Shaula-kun?
Oh, wondering who it was. The beard has arrived.
A bearded man with dark reddish-brown hair and a cane arrives at the banquet and starts talking with Shaula.
There is no mistake that I have grown a beard, but I am not happy being called that. I have the name Alec. Lately, I've been trying to add Hoshin to it too.
Ah! Come to think of it, I heard about that. Ain't that the name you got from Master or something? What's the big idea? You want to go at it with me?
I won't do it. Even if we did, it would be so one-sided that even you would get sick of it.
Alec emphasizes that his leg has been destroyed by an old injury, which shows his weakness in combat. Shaula's mama, the witch lady, is seemingly physically restricted like Alec too. Shaula accuses Alec of trying to seduce her master as he gets closer to him.
It is true that I got the inspiration for the name from your master, but you can rest assured, it's not like I borrowed the name from a star. The auspicious name your master knows, a synonym for success in life, I had him allow me to borrow such a name.
Success in life?
It means to establish oneself and succeed through one's work. Originally, that was the number one reason I left my hometown. Even if the world gets a little shaky, I cannot compromise on that.
Oh, so you're riding on Master's jinx. I totally thought the beard was more of a realistic pessimist. But you're a romantic, huh?
I don't know what you thought of me, and in the end, I don't know what you think of me now either if you say that.
Huh?
Shaula is about to complain and fight back after being bested by words with Alec. But they are interrupted.
Shaula-kun, it seems you've been nominated.
Farsale comes and grabs Shaula's hand after slipping out of the group.
Hey, my eminent self is at his limit any further. Alec, I leave the rest to you.
Yes, understood. Shaula-kun, take care of Farsale-kun.
Huh? I don't know what's going on. Hey, don't pull me. Ugh!
Ladies and gentlemen, please wait a moment. If you chase after him with such momentum, His Highness will be in a great panic. For now, it would be better to listen to my story here.
Phew, I can finally relax my shoulders.
At a gazebo far away from the party, Farsale relaxes.
Was it alright for you to slip out? All those swarming guys. Everyone wanted to talk to you, you know.
When you say it like that, my eminent self's chest hurts as well. But if my eminent self does not have time to take a breather, my eminent self will suffocate. Of course, I am aware that whining over something of this level is nothing to be praised for.
Farsale faces away from the crowd, and he seems more relaxed and less exaggerated.
When you're like that, you don't look like an idiot.
Is that so? An idiot? Did you just call my eminent self an idiot?
I didn't say it. I said that unlike usual. You don't look like one right now.
In other words, does that not mean you always think my eminent self is an idiot? Does it not?
Not usually, but you're back to being an idiot now, too.
Very well. Given the relationship between my eminent self and you, counting that just now towards the disrespect count will be waived.
By the way, what happens when the disrespect count advances?
Of course, one of my eminent self's companions will get angry in my stead. If that count were to reach full when it is Reid's turn to get angry, it would be an unimaginable disaster.
They banter some more back and forth, helping them both relax.
Shaula, girl who was granted the name of a star. You taught my eminent self before, did you not? That the stars have the power to grant someone's wish.
I said that. However, the right to have a wish granted is a game of musical chairs. I also taught you the secret to surviving that along with it, didn't I?
Right you were. To shine brightly, so much that even the stars are captivated. Truly, it is such a logical idea that even my eminent self could not help but groan in admiration.
Naturally. After all, I'm Master's cute disciple.
If so, to those who were in that place earlier, my eminent self and your master are not stars in the heavens, but stars upon the earth, I suppose.
Stars upon the earth?
Stars upon the earth! How somewhat embarrassing to call oneself that.
Farsale laughs, speaking loudly and seemingly relieved of some deep emotion he was feeling. Farsale implies that both him and Shaula's master are stars that grant wishes of others.
Farsale, did you get sick of that?
Be at ease, Shaula. There is absolutely no way my eminent self feels that role is a burden, nor wants to run away, because my eminent self believes this role is my true calling.
Seriously. But what if that's the case? Why did you bring me out here? Your actions and words contradict each other. This is the taste of a liar!
Why did you just lick the back of my eminent self's hand?
Shaula and Farsale then debate about how many times Shaula could eat appas, to which Shaula believes she can eat an absurd amount and never get tired of them, because her master loves them, and so does she, which makes Farsale ponder, as he believes you could lose taste of them. The reason he's saying this is a roundabout way to explain to Shaula that humans need to take breaks and rest. He is clearly tired and worried about things.
I'm a Scorpio woman who received the name of a star from Master, you know? That's why I will teach you guys who lack the capacity to play the star, the way of the star.
Is that so? Is that so? You will show us the example. That is such a reliable tale to hear. Truly splendid.
Oh? Don't carelessly clear the sky in front of the Scorpio woman shining in the starry sky.
Indeed. Now that you mention it, it is so. You are truly smart. I did not have the leeway to put anything in my mouth at the banquet, you see. I brought just one with me. Shall we share this between my eminent self and you?
Makes no sense. Aren't you hungry? With just one appa, your belly won't swell that much.
Oh, as you can see, my eminent self is dressed up tonight, so I cannot carelessly swell my belly. However, leaving half-eaten food is also unbearable. Therefore, having you eat half is the best.
Is that a wish to the stars? Something like that.
Something like that?
They split an appa like they did that steamed tato earlier, joking about how trivial of a wish Farsale had for Shaula that she granted. Her memories and flavor of this moment seem particularly sweet and important.
Would Shaula-sama also like one?
It seems part of the reason Shaula was reminiscing about that moment is that Leilani is offering an appa to her in the present. It takes Shaula by surprise and creates an emotional noise within her, as she's surprised to see an appa in this desert.
What is the matter? Was it an unpleasant offer from an incompetent and insolent person such as myself?
To have an appa out here is seriously an annoying, clever staging, huh?
If you found it inappropriate and unpleasant...
It's nothing like that. Mostly you being pushy didn't just start now.
Shaula splits the appa for them, strangely remembering her memory with Farsale as one with Leilani instead. And as she does so...
I am delighted.
As I thought. If it ain't with Master, it doesn't have that taste.
Shaula-sama?
It's nothing. I'm telling you this now, but my heart ain't cheap enough to be bought off with a single appa. In the first place, my heart is Master's monopoly, not for you.
Of course, I am aware. You are a kind-hearted and generous person. You are by no means giving special treatment to this unworthy and immoral me. Your kindness makes me imprudently hopeful that if it is Shaula-sama, you might grant an incongruous wish for an incompetent person like me.
You seriously got quite the personality, huh?
Shaula, unaware of this new context, believes Leilani is spitting on the memory they supposedly share.
Don't misunderstand. That swollen belly makes you shine brilliantly, Leilani.
Chapter 3. Memories of a Beard. Leilani becomes a complicated figure for Shaula.
Even though she's an old acquaintance, since there's Master's orders and a grand order from Mama-sama for me, I can't give her special treatment.
Her internal devotion prevents her from selfishly ridding herself of her guest.
Shaula-sama, I have an insolent request, but could I borrow your hand?
A hand? What is it? Are you gonna hobble around again? For the sake of the baby in your belly, wouldn't it be better to just blankly spend your time doing nothing?
I am an unsightly and uneducated person, but for the sake of these children, I foolishly thought it would be better to move my body a little. In this unfamiliar tower, if something were to happen, there would be no taking it back. So I was wondering if I could borrow your strength?
There ain't a reason I have to go along with that.
Unworthy me is a pregnant woman, you see.
You sure use that swollen belly whenever it's convenient, Leilani.
Shaula, due to his commands, helps Leilani to the 4th floor as she guilts her about her weakened state from the pregnancy.
If that's the case, then wouldn't it be better to quickly give birth? Then I could also send you away outside of the sand sea without any reservations.
I wish to respect your feelings as much as possible, even for a foolish and uneducated person like me. But the uncleanliness here is a concern. Insolent as it may be, as a mother wishing for the happiness of these children, I want to witness their birth by choosing a fitting place and time.
Shaula realizes that Leilani has implied she is waiting for the right time and place to have her babies.
Just as Shaula-sama's noble thoughts dictate, the crucial moment will not come easily. That is why I have already been pregnant with these children for 3 years.
3 years? That sounds like a pain. For me, having another living creature enter my belly and restricting my freedom, let alone a day? Oh, I'd hate it for even a second.
Shaula imagines being pregnant, and despite wishing to be intimate with him, she has no desire to have children, unless he wanted them more than anything. She vents her concerns about being pregnant and sharing affection from him with a child to Leilani. She asks Leilani if she loves her partner and gets no response.
A variation of that story Leilani mentioned before, where if you eat nothing but appas, eventually you lose taste for them. Saying you want to eat something like oranges, ain't that just being fickle?
Shaula wonders how Leilani could be so devoted without love for another, but then realizes that she insulted Leilani by mistake.
I didn't say Leilani was bad or anything. But what did your husband do? A human alone shouldn't be able to make up a baby.
The father of these children is, unwittingly, separated from me by death. Unworthy as I am, for me, these children are the only traces he left behind.
Ah, I see. So that's the type it is.
Shaula grasps that Leilani may be seeing the traces of their father in the children, but is still left confused.
I think if Master disappeared, I wouldn't be able to think about comforting myself in his place like this. You're so amazing.
Shaula finds herself impressed by Leilani, who thanks her for her compliment before they continue to the 4th floor. They pass by the room where Shaula performs her daily routine, which is closed.
Shaula-sama, why did you close that room? If my unfamiliar and unguided memory is correct, the entrances to the other rooms were open, so I was curious as to why it was closed.
It ain't for any big reason. But since there ain't anything important in there, you could just treat it as an unimportant place and ignore it.
Is that so? But
I said ignore it, didn't I?
Shaula realizes she wants to keep the content of that room private and asks Leilani not to go into the closed room. She agrees, but Shaula doesn't trust her response. We flash back again, this time to Shaula speaking with the man with reddish-brown beard that walks with a cane. She has just made a rude remark about how she doesn't understand how he can live while being so weak.
The beard who is having trouble walking, and Mama-sama who has trouble living. From my perspective, ain't it exhausting to live? It was a feeling I had, so I asked, but...
Regardless of the evaluation for Witch-kun, your question is a proposition that pierces deeply into me as well. No, it's a proposition that pierces deeply into me too, you know?
Ooh, the weird accent came out.
Alec started speaking with a Kansai dialect, which Shaula doesn't dislike despite finding it odd.
Because the inventor is Master. The dazzling ideas overflowing from Master's head, no matter what kind of bizarre things they are. My big love fully affirms them.
Treating me like a bizarre thing is terrible. I'm carefully selecting it, so don't end up like that, you know? Well, I guess it can't be helped. That'll change as it gets used, though.
Oh, you're back.
As he speaks, he switches back and forth between his normal speaking voice and the strange accent, adding exaggerated expressions when he does so.
If that's what you think, then it was worth developing this accent.
He laughs, and Shaula pokes him. They banter a bit, and she pokes him more. It isn't long before he needs a break again. He rests against a stone wall that apparently surrounds the 4 sides of this unmanned city. We learn it didn't even exist a few weeks ago.
We had to build it at a rapid pace. But seriously, Mama Sama and Reid are monsters.
Shaula recalls how her mama had transported material from a nearby canyon with magic, and Reid, drunk, cut up and refined the stone. It was all to defend against the coming beast attack.
From then on, the eyes of the surroundings seeing us has changed. They're a cash-grabbing bunch.
It can't be helped. It's the first time we've stepped onto this land, and I'm aware that at first glance we're a suspicious group. Of course, you're a member of it too.
So the moment those guys became useful, they flipped their palms? If you ask me, they're living like mobs. A pitiful existence swayed by the trends of the time.
You're harsh.
We learned that whilst her mama and Reid fought off the beast, it was Hoshin that convinced the city to accept their party's help, as well as overseeing the city in the aftermath of one of the attacks. Regardless, Shaula is still upset she was stuck with someone as slow as he was.
Sorry for bothering a brother, but there was only ya. Trying walking around with Reid. He's a genius at causing chaos on flat ground, ain't he?
He's just an ultra-annoying bastard. Well, compared to that, Alec is 10,000 times better.
10,000 times is a mighty fine story. Compared to getting involved with Reid, the lack of reproducibility is unfortunate.
Shaula is happy to be beside the weird-talking man over Reid, as he gets to send out curses and jeers from people. Hoshin, rather, is well-liked. Both situations would extend to Shaula as well.
Even though you can't live without borrowing people's hands, why do you keep living, huh? Wasn't it Shaula who said it? You asked me why Witch Coon and I kept living even while being a nuisance to others.
The nuance is a bit different. I was just saying that living that week must be exhausting. So, with what face are you living?
It's a lot more bloodthirsty than I thought.
Shaula notes to herself that being physically capable is needed to serve the purpose of protecting him, thus an important trait to her.
That's why I'm skeptical of the meaning of life for those guys who have it low.
For now, Witch Coon is the reason you were born into this world, even so, huh?
I'm seriously grateful to Mama Sama who created me. That's why it's a feeling of thanks for your hard work.
Unwavering values, huh? I'm envious.
Shaula takes a moment to examine him closer and finds him to be sincere.
Could it be? You were hurt being treated like a wooden doll by me? If that's the case, I can ask Mama Sama for you to pull out just Alec's soul, put it back into a nicely designed container, a remake or a reboot kind of thing.
Much obliged, but I'll politely decline. Sure, there's a lot of inconveniences, but I ain't regretful about being born as me.
But having to help you walk is a nuisance for me?
That was a weak spot when you said that. But my own satisfaction is certainly there,
Hoshin returns his voice to normal and leaves an impression on Shaula that even if she hits him hard and wins, she'd still lose. Hoshin remarks that this is a showing of growth, before having her help him stand.
Ugh, you would have completely fallen if I wasn't there. So what's so funny?
The moment I made you lend a hand, it went exactly as I hoped, I guess.
Huh?
It's certainly just like you say. I can't even walk a path without properly borrowing someone's hand. Even so, the reason I'm walking this path, this wasteland, is because I have a goal I can't achieve otherwise.
In the midst of his story, Hoshin strikes the ground with his cane, and this seems to give off a kind of pressure that gives her goosebumps. Shaula compares it to the feeling she gets from Reid or her mama. Surprised Hoshin and Farsale are able to have that effect too. This is a different kind of strength.
It's mighty bad for me, but Shaula, I'm using you too. As you can see with my disabled leg, if I don't rely on strength of those around me, my dream won't come true.
The astonishing super freeloader theory.
Of course, I'll do my best too, so I ain't just a freeloader.
Hoshin starts walking without Shaula's help, much to her chagrin. She knows he is a companion of Reid, her mama, and Farsale, and thus was beyond someone that can be talked to normally. It wasn't a journey that people who could state their own opinions or speak of their dreams could follow along.
About my dream? You want to hear it?
Zero interest.
Well then, all the more reason to talk. After all, it's exactly those folk all over the world who turn their backs that I gotta get to cooperate with my dream.
Knowing her refusal meant nothing, Shaula turns her back while Hoshin speaks.
I want to gather up a bunch of scattered folks and make a single country. Not one where blood or history dictate things, but one where personal qualities and abilities are evaluated and given a place to shine. That's that kind of country.
What a stupid-looking dream.
I get told that a lot and laughed at. I myself almost laugh at how a guy who was best just being a hermit has started talking about such mighty big dream, but
He matches her walking pace, forcing her to have to look up at Hoshin, and reminds her of him.
the daily accumulation builds oneself, and that because the true image reflected in the eyes of others, any kind of bluff, if kept up, becomes indistinguishable from the real thing.
Ooh. And so the first step for building that country is this weird accent?
Truthfully, when trying to make a whole new country from scratch, I thought it might be good to make a language unique to that country, but it ain't realistic to prepare a language that can't be used to interact with another country in this day and age. So, I thought a unique accent or dialect from my country might be appropriate, and had a consultation with your master. Had a consultation I did.
Your choice and selection for someone to consult was absolutely correct. But first of all, if the head of state, Alec, can't properly master that accent, you'll just end up being evaluated as a cringy guy.
When you say that, I ain't got a leg to stand on.
Shaula doesn't really care about his dream. It only mattered if he, her master, was there. However,
Farsale's like that too. But you guys and your nature of willingly trying to take on huge burdens is quite tough. If I'm bored to death, I'll help you carry the luggage at least.
Shaula thinks she doesn't care about normal humans at all, despite telling Hoshin she'll help him. He finds this very humorous and invites her to be the first citizen of his new nation. She refuses, in favor of wanting to sit in her master's lover's seat. Hoshin yells in shock about this, which grabs people's attention as they walk away. Shaula notes that his over-the-top reaction and accent do seem to get attention, and seems impressed. Hoshin gloats a bit, but is poked in the face again. Jumping back to the tower.
I told you it'd be better to leave this place as a closed-off area.
Shaula is yelling at Leilani, who has broken into the room Shaula forbade, seeing the tally marks representing the days she had spent waiting for her master. To Shaula, these marks are not something crazy, or anything negative, but instead are an expression of her love and devotion to her master. Yet she is aware that others would find it creepy. Shaula feels that she has been too accommodating to her guest, and that has led to Leilani getting the wrong impression of her freedoms. She is ready to tear the woman's throat out at this indiscretion.
Are you listening? Breaking orders and ignoring me on top of that? Is that a challenge to see how far you can rise my anger voltage to its limits?
Shaula grabs Leilani and spins her around, only to find the woman in tears.
I am truly, deeply sorry. Insolently, unsuitably, and outrageously. I felt the weight of the days you have spent, just a fraction of it, with my unworthy self, and I was overcome with grief.
What are you crying for? The one who wants to cry is me. into the room I said not to enter, and on top of that, such a reaction? Ugh.
Shaula-sama, amidst your painful feelings thus far, you have truly done well.
Shaula looks down at Leilani and thinks about how it's a reverse scenario to when she was just thinking back at looking up at Leilani. Is that so? Shaula finds herself speaking feebly and wondering if she was left behind and in pain.
Amidst the pain, suffering, sorrow, and grief, it must have been very hard for you.
Leilani starts stroking Shaula's hair, reminding her of when her master would do the same, as well as his companions. Leilani, Leilani, and Leilani. Shaula starts to wonder if she was really hurting.
I imprudently broke my promise with you. However, I now believe it was for the best. My immoral and unethical actions prevented me from overlooking the great anguish you carry, because I was spared from tasting the greatest remorse.
Shaula starts to wonder if Leilani's trespasses was really saving her. Leilani comforts Shaula with words of self-pity, and Shaula feels these words nestling close to her heart. Her master was her number one, but she was taught so much by Leilani, Leilani, and Leilani. Chapter 4. Memories of Mother. Shaula is doing her best in her morning exercise routine, whilst thinking about how thankful she is to Leilani for pointing out that her tally marks might creep out her master and dissuading her from doing it.
That doesn't mean you entering that room gets your free pass, though.
Harsh words, but it was an act committed by my foolish, ignorant self. I shall meekly accept your anger. However, regarding that anger, please forgive at least these children.
That again? That feels less like a mother's strength and more like a mother's slyness. So you better not get used to it on anyone besides me.
Shaula has been spending the past couple of days attending to Leilani's needs, as she had seemingly made the tower her new home unashamedly. Shaula thinks about how her mother designed her not to be a caretaker, as she lacked an understanding of the human heart or emotions.
If Master or Leilani hadn't persuaded Mama-sama, I might have been a bizarre, grotesque monster that could only fulfill its purpose with maximum efficiency. I also want that baby in Leilani's belly to be born pronto!
It is a surprise. I never would have thought that you would want to meet these children.
Nah, I got no interest in brats. It's just, if that belly doesn't flatten out, I can't even kick you out if I wanted to. So I just want to clear that part.
Am I still a nuisance to Shaula-sama?
Leilani seems hurt by this.
Well, coming full circle, I don't think Leilani being here is a nuisance. But when Leilani goes into labor, or when taking Leilani outside the sand sea after she's had that baby, I just want to make sure the chances of accidentally missing Master are 0. That's what I'm saying.
Your thoughts are unwavering, are they not? Even though you already know that I am Reilani, who has filled many of your memories.
That's that, this is this. Ain't it?
Leilani has apparently become a major part of what formed Shaula into the person she is today. The love of her master is still unshakable. She believes both her affection for her master and Leilani were designed by her mama.
Well, even though Mama-sama's smart, she's airheaded. So, I feel like there's plenty of things that haven't gone her way at all, though.
You truly respect your mother, do you not?
Respect is a bit ticklish. The feeling I hold for Mama-sama are a messy mix of love and hate, gratitude and a rebellious face, respect and contempt, and all sorts of conflicting things.
I believe that is a wonderful relationship to be admired. I wonder, will I be able to build such a relationship with these children as well? An incompetent, ignorant, insolent, inexperienced, indiscreet, and imprudent person like me?
To be blunt, Ain't you overthinking it? In reality, no matter what kind of parent thinks or does, kids just grow up however they please.
Shaula-sama.
Shaula declares that although her mother designed her in a specific way, she is independent and has drifted away from her early in life.
The way I love, I chose it myself. What's wrong? Were you impressed by my declaration of independence from Mama-sama?
Leilani seems troubled by that conversation and moves it along.
I seem to have been affected by the sunlight a little, with a body as full of deficiencies as dust and garbage.
Seriously? You're beaten by the sunlight? I knew Leilani was so weak that just living was exhausting. But this goes way beyond my imagination. Considering that, you knocked me around nicely. What an incomprehensible person you are.
Leilani has taken lots of different roles for Shaula. She wonders if Leilani needs more help.
That will not be necessary. Shaula-sama, please, continue your daily routine. A vulgar and foolish person such as myself does not require you to go to such lengths.
Is that so? Then I'll take you up on those words. 1, 2, 3, and stretch!
This makes her reminisce about her mother. All right, Shaula. Let us stop here. You should have sufficiently met the necessary conditions.
Huh? Still? I've only done the stretching exercises freely so far, you know. Mama-sama's frailty went way beyond my imagination.
Shaula pouts at her mother, who is struggling to follow along with Shaula's exercise routine. Listen here. The necessary amount of exercise differs from person to person, and in the first place, I am in the position of being forcibly dragged out by you and made to accompany you on this so-called radio calisthenics. What I need right now is to not complete this exercise, but to track the record of having accompanied you and exercising. That has been fully satisfied, so I withdrew. That's all there is to it.
Mama-sama, you seriously talk super fast when you're making excuses, huh?
That is also someone's bad influence. Is it him? Or perhaps Reid?
What are you talking about? The one who designed me as me was Mama-sama. So what goes around comes around. And it's just a full counter right back at Mama-sama.
Cornering me with irrefutable logic is truly infuriating. Good grief.
I talked about this with Alec, too. But why is Mama-sama alive? I got it wrong. I mean, how is Mama-sama able to live? Was what I meant.
It feels like either way to me. Is it that bad that I'm alive, I wonder? Is it bad? Well, after all, I am a witch by birth.
Nah, sorry to interrupt your smug face, but that's a different matter.
I know that. After I said it, I also had a feeling you would say that. Shaula thinks about the rumors that have been spreading about her mother, an unparalleled magician and witch. The context seems to be implying that Shaula's mother is the Witch of Greed Echidna, though Shaula thinks the stories and legends of her mother are ridiculous when seeing her struggle like this.
The reality is, she can't even handle 10% of radio calisthenics. That's Mama-sama.
Oh, be quiet. It is perfectly fine, is it not? Something like radio calisthenics? Or what? Does being able to do radio calisthenics make you great? Does radio calisthenics harbor some special power that surpasses even divine protections and authorities? It does not, does it?
That's enough, Mama-sama. It's too painful to watch. Ugh, so that's enough. As expected, it's that parent-child thing, huh? When I think of Mama-sama embarrassing herself somewhere, it makes my whole body unbearably itchy.
Why is embarrassing myself the premise? That's ridiculous.
But seriously gets so itchy, it's exhausting. So Mama-sama, why don't you just hurry up and die?
Is that something you say to your parent? Not that it's my place to say. Echidna seems to have a banter-filled and loving relationship with Shaula, though she understands that to be different from how Echidna views her own parents, which seems to be poorly.
Quite the toxic parent. Pitiful Mama-sama.
And by that logic, they are your toxic grandparents, so you become pitiful as well, you know.
Ain't it because Mama-sama and the others didn't quickly finish them off and it's dragging on too much? Leaving a root of evil for generations to come. The bloodline of toxic parents.
Please do not casually turn me into a toxic parent as well. So far, other than not completing radio calisthenics, I should not have any demerits.
After all, conflicts only occur between opponents at the same level.
That makes me curious about how our levels are being treated in your mind. It bothers me very much. Look, I am the reincarnation of thirst of all knowledge, after all.
There. If you get caught up in the minor details, not only will your hair turn white, but the color will drain from other places too.
Just so you know, my hair color did not fall out from stress. They are currently in a flying castle looking out into the open sky. Shaula is blown away by the view that they're looking at together.
Actually, the fact that Mama-sama is an amazing person earns my serious respect. Other than my Mama-sama, there ain't anyone else to make a castle fly like this.
I appreciate the praise, but do not overestimate me. As long as one can construct the formula that makes objects float, place them properly, and provide the necessary amount of mana to keep the target structure floating, this is something that can be realized even if it is not me. It is far from a miracle.
I got it wrong. Other than my Mama-sama, there ain't anyone else who would think of a stupid idea of making a castle fly like this.
It seems you cannot simply help but interject a word or two with me, huh?
The rare occasion of Mama-sama taking me up on an invitation. Is this some kind of staging to give a special, this is it kind of feeling? Right? Did you think I wouldn't find out? If so, as expected of Mama-sama to not understand people's hearts, I'm not a human. So even more so. A workaholic who usually doesn't even keep their kids in the corner of their mind, somehow interacting with their kid at the very last opportunity. Mama-sama, please rest in peace.
I am not dead, nor do I intend to die. As you say, I cannot deny that this is a plan of higher possibility of dying than before. However...
that's exactly what you shouldn't say yet. Saying it anyways is so like Mama-sama.
Shaula observes that Echidna is not a very hopeful person, unlike herself.
Or rather, did Mama-sama design me so I wouldn't end up like that? If so, looking back at your own half-life, Mama-sama ideal way as being... me?
Now I wonder about that. There was no mistaking that I designed you optimized for your purpose, but whether my arbitrary emotions were mixed in there, that is something I have no self-awareness of. However, if hypothetically that speculation is correct, I will lose faith in myself.
Why is that, Mama-sama? Completely covered from head to toe with zero exposure? And me? Generously exposing my dynamite body? Mama-sama's duality is coming out with a bang!
I will lose faith in myself, I knew it. Echidna is exhausted, almost collapsing to the ground.
It'd be better if you could at least say a single word like, lend me a hand, Mama-sama.
You are the one who has the smarts to quickly notice and lend a hand. Shaula pulls her up from the ground.
There's an even better view than here. It's worth a look for Mama-sama too.
No, I will pass. I have no interest in my altitude or the scenery, I can see.
No way, are you scared? If so, that's super lame.
Is that something you say to your parent? Not that it's my place to say. Shaula thinks about how this moment was of particular importance with her mother going out of her way to do these things with her.
Mama-sama, I belong to Master, but...
That is fine. I do not demand a rule from you beyond your mission you were assigned. If spreading yourself too thin results in neglecting your original purpose, it would be putting the cart before the horse. She would not wish for that either.
Roger that, loud and clear. Then what about Mama-sama's wish? It'd be better if you could at least say a single word like, lend me a hand, Leilani.
We cut back to Shaula taking Leilani's arm to help supporting her as she's struggling to stand.
You look like you want to say something like, why?
Indeed, I was about to say exactly that. Having laid a foundation of insincere and unfaithful words, I was supposed to have taken my leave from Shaula-sama's presence, though.
If you seriously intend to do that, it means Leilani has a defect not just in life force, but in acting ability too. Your back was hesitantly calling out to me. Resisting is useless, so I prefer if you didn't.
Shaula picks up Leilani in a bridal carry.
Don't you have something to say to me?
Thank you.
Oh, you were able to say it honestly. when you have a baby in your belly, I wonder if your personality rounds out. Something like that. Ain't like Leilani at all. Somehow, she's just endlessly complicated. Shaula thinks about how weirdly complicated Leilani has become in her mind, taking up the aspects of arrogance, mercilessness, curiosity, and being loved by everyone. Being a creator yet incompetent, being an egotistically self-aware hermit, she has overtaken so many important things and people to Shaula, almost painting her face over them. Chapter 5. Leilani Alnair. Leilani Alnair is a Synarchbishop of the witch cult representing gluttony. She feels such a deep and unending self-pity for every aspect of her life, whether that be health, circumstances, or appearance, to the point that it has become linked with her very being. After adapting to the witch factor of gluttony and being named an archbishop, she has completely ingrained the belief that she should be pitied by everyone. This fixation on pity and how she truly believes she is entitled to it helps her witch factor form her authority. Her authority of gluttony, hyperphagia, forces that pity she feels towards herself to be felt by others.
Unworthy, incompetent, insolent, careless, outrageous, misbehaving, immoral, clumsy, indiscreet, impure, unclean, unadulterated, ill-mannered, unskilled, unseemly, unsuccessful, incomplete, awkward, unsightly, plain, unshapely, unfaithful, insincere, inappropriate, unprepared, inattentive, unready, unstudied, uninformed, unclear, unpleasant, unreasonable, absurd, irregular, dishonorable, base, mediocre, foolish, stupid, empty, defective, incompetent, servile, and worthless self that I am.
Once one feels pity for Leilani Alnair, no matter how big or small, an invisible bite wound appears on their very life force. It gnaws and grows, festering, feasting, and worming its way into the person's existence, and claiming a place that grows larger and larger.
And eventually, I shall paint over your heart the steps of your life with unworthy me.
Hyperphagia, then to reach the results, consumes the precious memories that form a person's existence, along with the memories of those precious to the target. The holes left behind are painted over mercilessly with the face of Leilani Alnair. Thus, to someone caught in the jaws of Leilani Alnair's gluttony, she is a mentor, a savior, a friend, a lover, family, anything and everything a bond could be for a person, until their very soul burns out, and they would lay their life down for her and sacrifice everything they have to further her pitiful existence. Truly, she is without a shadow of a doubt a Synarchbishop of the witch cult, a being more detested and pitied than anything in the world.
Everyone was a person possessing a generous heart, willing to pity a woman like me.
Leilani Alnair's objective was to arrive at the Pleiades watchtower. Thus hyperphagia and its endless appetite made it so. 900 lives manning 150 dragon carriages, driven by 150 ground dragons, perished painfully and wastefully so Leilani Alnair could push forward through the agrarious sand dunes and break through sand time. Though she still almost lost her life. Well, it's easier and better if you don't move like that. Shaula's voice ringing out to her confirms to Leilani that even the world itself pities her more than anything in this existence. Shaula was a truly difficult target for hyperphagia to swallow, so it worked slowly and surely to make a banquet out of her memories and loved ones, replacing them all one by one with the most pitiful girl in the world. Though the first bite is always the most important for hyperphagia. Hyperphagia is not an instantaneous process after all. Eating takes time. Thus, to make herself more pitiable and expand her authority's buffet, making that first bite more likely and more effective, she conceived her children, keeping them trapped for 3 whole years through pure determination and desperation, to be pitied evermore as a vulnerable pregnant woman, despite her own children's desire to be born. That was what allowed Leilani to ensnare the Starkeeper in her authority. Leilani, chow's ready! If I taste test it, your portion will decrease, so do the taste testing yourself. Leilani knows that Shaula has softened considerably since they first met, thanks to hyperphagia overtaking her. She doesn't think Shaula a fool for not noticing the contradictions that hyperphagia brings, with it overtaking of her memories, as no one has ever noticed its effects before. No one doubts the memories they hold dearest to themselves.
Nor would they ever believe the most pitiable woman in the world could even cause such a thing.
Leilani?
Shaula was truly devoured completely. Leilani couldn't help but pity her. She had followed her gospel's word and carried them out without hesitation, as all witch cultists do. She had arrived at the shrine of the Witch of Envy as instructed.
Shaula-sama.
What is it?
Leilani emphasizes her pregnant and swollen body.
Having been graced with your kind and generous mercy, unworthy me is disproportionately happy. After all, you have considered my incompetent self as your number one priority.
Huh? No, I didn't.
A white light shoots through Leilani. Leilani, now helplessly and slowly dying after being shot by Shaula, with no emotions on her face, was tossed outside of Sandtime and into the dunes. She did not call for help, but left her luggage next to her. Leilani wonders if the shot killed any of her children, as she suffers pity to herself endlessly. She is frustrated that she is in such pain.
Hey, it's a person after all! Someone collapsed! They're still alive!
A man calls out, having found her. Many people come running to assist her. Leilani is enthused, thinking she'll be saved. It seems these people are here to find survivors left behind in this tragedy that Leilani's hyperphagia wrought.
It is a terrible wound. Besides, are you pregnant? This is bad. She needs treatment!
The man has knowledge of healing magic and is examining her. She is relieved, and Chili shouts out in concern.
One's already a goner. They're dead. But another one. No, 2 are alive!
The babies. No, we should prioritize her.
Realizing what the man is saying, Leilani knows they can't save both mother and children.
He's...
The man is shocked by Leilani's words as she tries to communicate that she should be saved and her children abandoned.
I understand. Of course. I will properly save them. Your babies won't die!
The man, in a deeply emotional moment, swears to save her children, while misunderstanding her garbled words. She calls out a desperate plea to save herself. Her life is exchanged for her children, despite her delirious attempts to fight against it. Eventually, around the time those screams died down, the first cries of 2 baby boys born into the world reached the ears of this pitiful woman, whose true feelings were never understood by anyone until her final dying moments. Held in the arms of the man, the 2 newborn babies brought into this world were seeing their dying mother off, who was perishing in exchange for their life, while letting out newborn cries as if taking pity on her. My children who were gluttony, in its absolute extremity, committing the cardinal sin of killing their mother and devouring her life the moment they were born. Listening to those newborn cries fading into the distance, Leilani Alnair pitied herself. Pitying herself, thinking that, after all, she truly was the most pitiful woman in the world. Epilogue. Days I waited for you. Twinkling, twinkling, flickering. Twinkling, twinkling, shining. Twinkling, twinkling, dazzling. Twinkling, twinkling, sparkling. Everything was vividly gleaming.
The wake-up smooch from Master is put on hold for today too, huh? My head's been feeling somewhat fuzzy. So I've been under a lot of stress for a while. But at long last, I feel refreshed. Bottling things up is seriously bad for your health after all.
Shaula reflects on her mental and physical health, something she hadn't cared about before, and sees them as important foundations of beauty, which she wants to achieve for her master. This is despite her original design by her mama.
But it was a weird feeling to mistake Mama Sama for someone else. The person herself found out. She'd definitely make incredibly sarcastic remarks to me. Ooh, how scary.
Shaula thinks she must have hallucinated her, misremembering her mama and the others due to fatigue. With having slept and Leilani gone, she doesn't think it'll be a problem anymore.
Even so, try to take my number one, namely Master Seat. There's a limit to being endlessly insolent. That's a straight red card ejection.
To Shaula, this woman made one major misunderstanding. She was already forgetting her name. Shaula knew she was pregnant, though, and found a loophole around her master's instructions.
Since I tossed her outside of sand time and gave her water and food just in case, the rest is a test of luck to see if someone passes by.
Shaula finds this quite clever, and assumes that the woman will be found by travelers. Regardless, she realizes that even after hundreds of years, she prefers being alone to having guests.
But there was one thing I wanted to thank her for. I was able to reaffirm that after all, only Master can fill the hole left by Master. So I thanked her for just that part.
That was all she took for her time with this uninvited guest.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Shaula's days pass as before in a fixed routine. Her calisthenics are used to maintain her glamorous body, as she thinks of how the different companions of her master would join her for them.
With this feeling, just keeping it close might be suspicious.
Shaula uses Hell Snipe to completely destroy the tally mark room in fear of creeping her master out. This doesn't technically break a tower rule, as she's not a challenger.
Come to think of it, if I had kept some Appa seeds, could they have been grown in the green room, I wonder?
She considers that she never made an attempt to spend time with the green room spirit, but laments that it would be too awkward to start now, as she walks to her sniper perch.
Could it be that the pack changed generations? Trying to challenge me? You're seriously idiots.
Shaula has apparently made examples of killing witch beasts to keep the packs away, but every so often a new pack forgets the lesson. If she doesn't remind them, they'll try to take entry into the tower. It's hard work and she's relentless, a devotion she wants her master to see ever more each day.
I'm seriously too admirable and cute. Master should be aware that he's letting go of an extraordinary opportunity. Lost in the affection dividends he ought to be receiving. Nah, he doesn't have to understand it. Even if he doesn't understand it, I'll just report it directly to Master from my own mouth and have him understand it. I want to see you, Master.
Twinkling, twinkling, flickering. Twinkling, twinkling, shining. Twinkling, twinkling, dazzling. Twinkling, twinkling, sparkling. Everything was vividly gleaming. On a random day, Shaula witnesses a dragon carriage break through sand time and skillfully avoid the courtesan bears. This gets her hopes up about seeing her master, only for their break to dash those hopes.
Here's a boom. If it was Master...
She sends off her hell snipe. If the group had contained her master, they'd have signaled to her somehow. Since they don't, she wastes no time sniping them.
Oh, seriously? They defended against it?
However, an ice wall slows her attack and a sword stops it. This has never happened to Shaula before. Thinking this may be those who qualify to enter the tower, she tests them with another shot, but she sees something unbelievable.
No way. Can't be.
Somehow, the group stopped the second attack with a magical field, and within it, an impossible opponent. Only it wasn't impossible.
Found you.
Shaula pursues the group, who got split into two during their magical field going off. She shoves the confused first group into the tower and goes after the second group. She finds them, and he was on the verge of death.
Or something. Maybe you didn't even need my help.
Despite thinking he was invincible, she slays the Hungry Horse King, just to show off how cool she's gotten.
Master, I worked super hard! I want to be super praised!
Her reunion is postponed when he falls unconscious, hugging an unknown woman. She pinches herself to confirm she's not dreaming and starts to get emotional.
Master? Master? Master, master, master!
Shaula is getting more and more excited, her chest growing hot as the day had finally come. Her thoughts are in disarray.
Huh? But there's no mistaking this. So this is the very first of a first.
Even if her emotions were congested, her feelings were crossed, and her thoughts became incoherent, just this was absolute. Through the days she continued to wait. Only this feeling of the Scorpio woman was an absolute, genuine thing that would never waver. Twinkling, twinkling, flickering, shining, dazzling, you who vividly gleamed.
No matter if hundreds of years have passed, I've always loved you, Master.